Hello and welcome to a new series of videos brought to you by Faeria.com. Introducing Learn Faeria, a series that focuses on providing you deck guides to the hottest decks in the metagame. Much like the tips and tricks series, we will be covering all the cards in the deck and go over their uses and strategies. Last week, a massive patch hit ending the metagame known as the Yakkening. Not only did Yak Attack get changed, but so did the Colossi. This has heavily shifted the metagame, and it will continue to shift as the game grows. To start off, the Learn Faeria series will be playing a new deck picking up in popularity. This deck is a mixture of green and yellow, but it's based around the card Runin's Avenger. Runin's Avenger is a 5/5 creature that gets a +1/+1 buff every time we take damage. This effect even happens while he is in your deck or hand. The deck focuses on controlling the board while using our yellow cards to deal damage to ourselves. In the mid to late game we can start playing these massive Avengers which our opponent can't deal with. That's the base strategy of the deck, and all the other cards have been added to support it. Let's break up the cards into colours and see how they complement this strategy. Our green cards make up the core of our creatures. The main role of our creatures is to gather Faeria and protect our structures. Let's take a look at them individually. Living Willow acts both as a line of defense and a bulky Faeria gatherer. This card is a great health stat and dodges popular removal cards such as Cypher's Wrath and Soul Drain. Wood Elemental is one of a few cards I tried in this deck. I originally tried Cartographer but wanted an immediate forest to help with managing land costs. This guy's job is to help with some of the steep land requirements to use our cards. He also doubles up as a Faeria gatherer. Tiki Caretaker helps with trading on board and also buffs our smaller creatures like Living Willow and Wood Elemental. He also provides burst damage to finish off an opponent's orb. This creature has a lot of flexibility. Finally, Grove Guardian has great stats for its cost. This guy will help protect our structures. I've found success with him guarding an Altar of Souls and continue to pump out 6/1 creatures every turn. We don't have many green events or structures, that's more of yellow's job in the deck. However, we do have one of each that synergizes with our other cards. Breath of Life is our only draw mechanic. It costs 0 Faeria, allowing us to use our health more freely as a resource. This card will sustain our health while our yellow cards eat away at our life total. Weeping Idol is another support card for the self-harm strategy to power our Runin Avengers. They also give a small boost in Faeria, which can be helpful if our Faeria gatherers are slain. The yellow side of the deck is all about removal and dealing damage to ourselves. The removal helps us manage the board while we take damage to buff up our Avengers. Let's take a look at the removal cards. Soul Drain is our cheaper removal card, dealing 2 damage to a creature or our opponent directly. The life gain also refuels us after taking damage from our other yellow cards. Choking Sand is a limited hard removal card, but still is a very strong event. This is good at taking out bulky Faeria gatherers or cards like Snowstorm Lancer. Last Nightmare is our premium hard removal event card. Use this card wisely and only take out true threats you can't deal with. Although Azari is a creature, his gift is extremely powerful. His gift ability is a Last Nightmare itself, which is why we don't run free of the event card. Not only do you remove an enemy creature, but you get a powerful 6/6 dragon as well. The last 2 cards deal damage to ourselves, which result in our Avengers being buffed. Soul Pact trades 2 damage for 2 Faeria. This synergizes with Runin's Avenger and Weeping Idol. Altar of Souls is an important part of this deck. Not only do we deal damage to ourselves, but we also gain a 6/1 Slaughtering Shadow for 1 Faeria. We want to be pumping out as many of these shadows as we can to overwhelm our opponent. Once they've run out of optimal ways to deal with the shadows, it's a great time to drop our giant Avengers. So that concludes the first episode of Learn Faeria. I hope you enjoyed this guide and take the deck for a spin on the ladder. I've personally been really enjoying this list and I hope you do too. If you have any thoughts or comments on this guide, be sure to stop by our forums. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.